translation, please click the interpretation button at the bottom of your Zoom webinar screen on a laptop or computer. Unfortunately, there is only one Chinese option, so you need to select German for Cantonese translation and French for Mandarin translation. Again, if you need Cantonese, select German. If you need Mandarin, select French. Please let us know via chat if you need technology help. This event will be recorded and published on Facebook. Attendees will not be viewable on the recording, and only English will be published. For technology assistance in English or Chinese, please use the chat function and someone will help you. Please feel free to use the chat and comments function to share your celebrations to all attendees and speakers at this event. We will not read them out loud, but they will be viewable, viewable publicly. Please keep all commenting appropriate though. If not, you will be asked to leave the event. I will now introduce C.W. Chan, the founder of Coalition for a Better Chinese American Community. He will share a few words.
Thank you, Mabel. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the special Chinatown Asian American Heritage Month celebration. This is the time for the country to remember the historical and current challenges and successes of Asian Americans and the unique contribution to this country as Americans. Today, this celebration is not only special, but unusual as well, because we are in a very unusual time. Only months ago, the Chinatown community's hot topic was how to manage and balance growth, livability, and equity. Now we find ourselves in the middle of a major experience of a lifetime that brings grief, pain, fear, and uncertainty. In the process, we also discover that 2020 has become a trying time for our community. Before the coronavirus became a pandemic in the US, Chinatown had already suffered due to fear and misinformation. And then we had to face a highly publicized crime and safety incident. Now the pandemic has become a national crisis with unimaginable health and economic consequences. Our community still has to bear additional burden of countering prejudice and bigotry. So you might ask, what are we to celebrate anyway? The worst catastrophe of a lifetime has brought out the best in us and the best of us. Quietly, the community with its organizations and individual residents rose to the occasion with outpour of love, passion, and energy. So many good people have done so many good deeds, not only to our Chinatown community, but to our greater Chicago region and beyond. The coronavirus has propelled Chinatown into the forefront as a community of action to redefine our place in the city, this region, and in history. So what a timely Asian American Heritage Month feature story it is. In the middle of a major crisis, we discovered something great about ourselves. We could have waited for history to write about this great generation rising to face this challenge of a century, but we are living the history and making a difference at this very moment. That's why we have this celebration, to give you uplifting accounts of how Chinatown community had come together to make us proud. Well, we will not be able to cover all the good stories today. I encourage you to step up and get involved. And in the process, you'll learn more about untold stories of all the good people doing good things in our community, and you can become part of that story too. Chicago Chinatown has been called the most thriving Chinatown in North America. It still is. And with our newfound energy and spirit and care for each other, together we can lift our community through this recovery phase of the pandemic and onto normalcy and prosperity. So with this in mind, let's celebrate. Thank you.
Thank you, CW. We're always inspired by your message. Now we will hear from our 25th Ward Alderman, Byron Sigcho Lopez.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the great introduction, CW, and thank you for all the community groups putting this important time to remember, the beauty and the uniqueness of the Chinatown community. As alderman of the 25th Ward, I have the honor and privilege to represent a community, a vibrant community that is an example of solidarity, that is an example of care for people across the city. During this unprecedented time, as CW has said, we have seen the best of our community coming forward as leaders, not only in Chinatown, but across the 25th Ward and across the city. The Chinatown community and the multiple groups that almost every single group that has taken upon themselves to not only provide assistance to the neighbors, even though the small communities, the small business community has been hit hard, even weeks before the pandemic hit the city in major proportions. We have seen small businesses delivering food, delivering masks to first responders, delivering food and essentials to clinics. We have seen the solidarity and the care of our Chinatown residents and groups, small businesses, community groups, to show what the Chinatown community is about. It is about community. And I think it's been a tough time for people across the city, but especially in the Chinatown community, like I said, for weeks, being hit hard economically. We've seen, unfortunate, also the bigotry and racism also victimize, unfortunately, our Chinese American community. But we've seen the love, care, and compassion that has shown in the community has led our efforts to show the example of what we're about and send a strong message that the Chinatown community leads with love, leads with compassion. And that's the example that I see others seeing spread around by example, by actions. And I just want to thank you for taking the time also to showcase this in this event that is very meaningful. There's no coincidence that the Chinatown community is an example for the country. It is because of the solidarity. It is because of the community groups, the residents, the people, the small business community that has uplifted the Chinatown community as an example to the country. I look forward to working with all of you for the many years to come to make sure that we continue to lead by example, that we continue to lead with strong values, despite the unfortunate things that we see, the racism, the hate acts, the things that, of course, that we've seen in the national scenario, but we've seen the leaders. I want to thank the community groups, but also our leaders, State Representative Ma, that has led efforts to secure funding for institutions, of course, and I'm sure that she'll make an announcement soon that she has secured efforts to continue to protect the Chinatown community. We have to continue working together to overcome the challenges that we have ahead, but it's because of the people, the community groups, the small business community, that the Chinatown community not only have been at the front in the national efforts, but an example in the city. We have to continue to work together to make sure that we have an affordability plan in terms of the 78. We have a lot of work to do in how we support our small businesses and also our culture and identity. So again, thank you so much for all you do and for taking the time to celebrate the many accomplishments. I know this has been a very difficult time, but because of this collective work, we're better together. So thank you again, and I look forward to continue working with all of you.
Thank you, Alderman Signo-Tropez. Lastly, we have Illinois 2nd District State Representative Teresa Ma.
Thank you, Mabel. Hi, everyone. It's really a pleasure to be part of this celebration, and I'm really excited to be with you tonight and to celebrate Chinatown. It's an amazing community, and I'm very proud to represent it in the state legislature. This is just a wonderful celebration and event, and it's really appropriate to be having this event towards the end of Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. Chinatowns all over the country are places of community and refuge, and they've existed across the United States for over a century. But Chicago's Chinatown is really special, not just to me, but I mean, obviously all of you. We've existed in its current location for the last 108 years. And even before that, we had a foothold in Chicago in the downtown area. And now it's just a really good time to celebrate how far we've come. So Chinatowns in the late 19th century were places where Chinese immigrants came together. Many of them, really grew when the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad meant that communities that were part of its construction were able to disperse and either stay in the towns nearby or go back to the Chinatowns that where they had lived before. And unfortunately, a lot of these Chinatowns grew as a result of the hate and racism that arose after the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad. There was an economic downturn in this country, and a lot of the Chinese immigrants were scapegoated and blamed for the unemployment and hard economic times that people were experiencing. And so Chinese communities really came together, and the Chinatowns that existed all around the country became refuges for community members to escape the violence and hatred. But out of that, we have communities that developed out of survival and resilience, and have survived in this country despite all the racism and difficult histories that we've all experienced. And so, now it's an opportunity for us to celebrate how far we've come. And especially Chicago's Chinatown, we've really come a long way in terms of working together and fighting for resources for the community. And I've been really proud to be a part of that and to help as much as possible to be a voice in government and to make sure that community members have access to the benefits and resources that we're all entitled to as people who live in this country. And so, I'm really happy to be a part of this celebration. And I'm especially, happy at this moment to, be able to announce that as part of the state capital bill, I was able to secure a commitment of $50 million towards the construction of a high school for the community. And this is significant because it's something that the community's been fighting for many, many decades. And it's something that is much needed in the community. And it is something that, we'll continue to work together to bring to fruition. Chicago's Chinatown is more than just the small commercial area where the restaurants and shops are. It's grown into the greater Chinatown community. It's, it's more than 35,000 people, moving towards 50,000 people in the greater Chinatown area. And so, there are a lot of families that are a part of this community, and, we all deserve resources that are available to people in this state. And so I'm proud to be a part of this community, proud to be involved in this celebration, and I will continue to fight to make sure that everyone has a voice in state government and we have access to the resources that the state can provide. So thank you very much. I'm happy to be a part of this celebration, and I can't wait to see what comes next.
Thanks again for all of your exciting words. We appreciate having you all as leaders of our community. Now, we will have a beautiful performance by Yinha Dance Studio and a quick word from Angela Tam, the founder. Angela?
Hi, everyone. My name is Angela Tam. I'm the founder and artistic director of Yinha Dance. We're a Chicago Chinatown-based nonprofit with a professional performing company as well as a school of dance. If you enjoy the performance and like to know more about us, you can find us online at yinhedance.org or follow us on Facebook or Instagram at Yinha Dance. So the program that we're doing for you today, we're actually not going to be performing live. It'll be a video of a previous performance, one that I'm very proud of and we're happy to share with the community. So please welcome our principal dancer, Jeremy Feng, in Flowers in the Rain. Thank you.
Lovely. Now we will start with the nomination. Lovely. First, Hong Liu.
Hello. Hi, can everybody
still
hear me?
I just seem to have lost the connection.
Hello.
All right, first, Hong Liu, the Executive Director of Midwest Asian Health Association,
Can you hear me?
will nominate the Chicago Guangzhou American Association.
Hello. Can anybody hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, you can hear me? Okay. Thank you. Hi, thank you, everyone. My name is Hong Liu. I would like to thank CBCAC for organizing this program and putting this program together. It's great to celebrate the Asian Heritage Month and recognize the organizations and individuals who have made contributions to our community and the mainstream society during this COVID-19 outbreak time. It is my honor to first nominate Chicago Guangzhou American Association, 芝加哥广州协会, to be recognized at this virtual event. Guangzhou Association was established in 2004 by Kitty Low, founder and the first president. She is also the current president. Guangzhou Association is one of the biggest community associations in Chicago, Chinese community, with more than 600 members. I have long and always admired Kitty Low and Mr. Rong Xiansheng, who have worked very hard to create projects to benefit our communities and their members, including the Chinese culture and arts, 文化艺术书法 youth program to promote Chinese arts, 青少年文化艺术项目, health education and the fitness program, such as 健康讲座, 健身班. They have also promoted many cultural programs to benefit the Chinatown community, such as Denlong Lantern Festival and the Chinatown New Year Parade, Chinatown Parade, 春节游行, 国庆游行. Their center is used by those parade events as the headquarters and the VIP reception. They have served their members with annual picnic event. They worked with the J.C. White office for license application, and they worked with the Cook County Treasurer's office for property tax application. They have programs for seniors, 老人健康中心, and they have conduct health education, including mental health for seniors. In addition, Guangzhou American Association has always been active in disaster fundraising event and make charitable contributions to China and the US. 他们举办很多赈灾活动. They are one of the key organizations that sponsor the Chicago Chinese Anti-COVID-19 Fund Drive Committee. Due to the time limit, I'm not able to list all of their activities and all they have been doing, but I truly admire them, and we are all very thankful and grateful to have Guangzhou Association in our Chinese community. Thank you, Kitty Low. I cannot see you, but I do appreciate your contribution and your friendship with my organization and with me as a person. Thank you.
Now we have David Wu, the Executive Director of Poitak Association, nominating Grace Jin.
Hi, good evening, everyone. This evening, I'm nominating Grace Jin for her work with the Unemployment Project. She's assisted by about 6 of our staff, as well as a number of volunteers that have been working on this project. As all of us know, underemployment and loss of work hours was hitting our community by February, as businesses, restaurants in the neighborhood were just less crowded because of people's concerns about COVID-19. Grace joined the Poitak Center first as an ESL student last year. She came to the States and was trying to improve her English. And then because she had an HR background, we invited her to join our staff. And so she's been serving as our ESL transitions coordinator, basically helping our ESL students find jobs. But when more and more of our students became unemployed, we talked about how to help them. And so she is, along with other volunteers, developed bilingual resources because right now you can only apply for unemployment online in English, Spanish, or Polish. And so many people needed help. And so she developed these, she along with others developed these resources to help people apply on their own. For those who really had limited English or limited technology, they would try to help people. So far, they've also been helping troubleshoot for those who have a lot of difficulty. So far, this group has helped 400 people with their unemployment claims, and over 1,700 people have viewed the website that holds the bilingual information about unemployment. When I first asked her to do this project, I said, if you could help 50 people, you'd be doing a great job. So she's helped, this group has helped 400 people. And I've done some rough calculations. If they could all get the federal $600 per week and plus maybe $300 from the state government, the work together has collectively helped or helped families get $4.6 million over the first 3 months of this effort. And so this is one way that she has served the community, helping people pay their rent, pay their groceries, and it's wonderful to be able to nominate her and those that have worked with her.
Next is Jan Zhang, the president of Chinese American Association of Greater Chicago, nominating the U.S.-China Restaurant Alliance.
One second. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, great. Thank you. First of all, I want to thank CBA-CAC for hosting this event. It is my honor to nominate the U.S.-China Restaurant Alliance for a couple of reasons. Ever since COVID-19 broke out in China at the end of January, when there's no proven case in Chicago, Chinatown, the restaurant business in Chinatown decreased over 80%. So in order to promote and help the Chinatown business and reduce the fear customers have towards the Chicago Chinatown local business, the U.S.-China Restaurant Alliance, they initiated We Love Chinatown event to invite not only the Chicago Chinese community, but also the mainstream customers to Chinatown. This is especially important to have a positive image for Chinatown during COVID-19. And we appreciate very much for the alliance that did for our community. The second reason I nominate the alliance organization due to their contribution of supporting the frontline workers. Since the spread of the COVID-19 in the US, the community heroes, frontline workers such as the police officers, the healthcare workers and firefighters have been working very hard fighting COVID-19. The U.S.-China Restaurant Alliance, they launched the free lunch and dinner event to provide free lunch and dinner boxes to the local frontline workers. As early as end of February, so far they have donated over thousands of free meals to hospitals like University of Chicago, Macy Hospital, UIC Hospital, and also the police stations across the city. In addition to provide the free meals, they also donated over 25,000 pairs of gloves and thousands of masks to frontline workers. Their contribution was greatly appreciated and well received. And we saw ABC7 News reported their wonderful work. Given the interest of time, I'm going to stop here. And that's the main reason I nominate the U.S.-China Restaurant Alliance. And thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Next, Sandy Ruin, the Development Director of Project Vision, will be nominating Project Vision.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sandy Ruin. I am the Director of Development representing Project Vision. Project Vision has been serving youth of Chicago's Chinatown for over 15 years. providing free after-school programs including tutoring, mentoring, college and career readiness activities, service learning, and leadership training. Our mission is to help all youth reach their full potentials. Success for PV means that youth reach their personal, educational, and career goals while understanding their role as good citizens within their communities. During these challenging times, Project Vision remains committed to our mission. With the closures of school extending through the end of the school year, supporting continued learning and growth is more important than ever. We're pivoting to adapt to emerging needs of our families and implementing online programs that help our youth continue to learn, support their social and emotional needs, and maintain a sense of community and connectedness to their peers and mentors. We're very proud to stand amongst other community organizations and leaders who are doing such great work for the community. Thank you.
Thank you. We now have a nomination for OCA Greater Chicago. OCA Greater Chicago is a local chapter of OCA, Asian Pacific American Advocates, a 501c3 national nonprofit, membership-driven organization founded in 1973 as the Organization of Chinese Americans and based in Washington, D.C. with over 50 chapters and affiliates across the country. Touching hundreds of thousands of AAPIs each year, OCA works with its organizational partners, members, chapters, and supporters to empower the next generation of leaders. The Chicago chapter is dedicated to promoting the economic, professional, and social well-being of Asian Pacific Americans in the greater Chicago area. The goals are to advocate for social justice, equal opportunity, and fair treatment, promote civic participation, education, and leadership, advance coalitions and community building, and foster cultural heritage. Next, Hong Liu has nominated Jonathan S. Au. Hong? Is Hong Liu still with us?
Oh, okay, sorry, I'm sorry. Let me start again. It is my great honor to nominate Jonathan Au Xianyu to be recognized at the event. Mr. O is a senior member of Xiesheng Association, Xiesheng Gonghui Yuanlao. He is a role model for the Chinese community. I have known him for about 20 years. He's always generous and always make contributions to charitable organizations. He and his wife, Feng Xiulan, have always actively been involved in community events and fundraising events. They are the most supportive couple in the Chinese community, so far I know. Not only they have made a lot of charitable contributions to natural disaster and this time to the COVID-19 fund drive, but also they have contributed to the political candidates' campaign, support their fundraising events, such as Andrew Yang and many other legislators, such as Jesse White, Congressman Danny Davis. Through supporting these legislators, they will be back to support our Chinese community. They are very low key all these years, and I fully admire Mr. Au and Susan Fong, his wife, and they are my hero, my role model. I'm very grateful for their many years of friendships and the support. Thank you, Mr. O and Susan, for your contributions to our community. You have truly made a difference in our life and truly make an impact on our community. Thank you.
All right, we now have Karen Lee, Assistant to the Director at Putak Center, nominating Ms. Annika Bausma.
你还有啊？还有
Karen?
Lee, Product Center Assistant to the Director and also Children and Youth Program Manager. It's my pleasure to nominate Ms. Annika Bausma. She's Puitak Center's Children's After School Coordinator. She has been with the children's program for 3.5 years. We serve over 65 elementary students in the after school. With the governor's stay-at-home order, we had to move the children's program to an online platform within 2 days. Through this online platform, the students in our program continues to get homework help from home. She created step-by-step instructions showing students and parents how to access the platform, as well as supports other tutors with any technical or tutoring issues. Some parents and grandparents even brought their iPads and computers to the center, and Annika helped them to set up the Zoom account and show them how to connect with the tutors. About 1/3 of our students are in bilingual classes, but Annika speaks Mandarin. She learned Mandarin when her family was living in China for 4 years, so there is no language barrier. Every day after school, she helps a group of 2 to 6 students in the 5th and 6th grades with daily English, math, science, and social studies homework. I'm so thankful that Annika is on Puitak Center's children program team. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank other tutors in the children program. And I'm so, so thankful for their great help and all their hard working. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's take a break with a lovely fan and ribbon dance from Whitney Young's Asian American Club. We're not getting any sound. Okay, I think we are having some technical difficulties with the sound. So let's continue with the nominations for now and see if we can work things out. So next we have Jared Pruitt, Chief Operating Officer at Chinese American Service League, who has nominated Castle's culinary training program. Jared?
reason. Thank you. Can you all hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Yes, my name is Jared Pruitt. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the Chinese American Service League. Thank you for CBCAC for putting this event together. CASTLE has nominated our culinary training program's emergency senior meals team, who is featured on the presentation. As many of you know, our culinary training program has been around for a number of decades, working to help individuals secure careers in the culinary training field. However, due to the recent pandemic, we have made a couple of shifts. As some of you know, when the state stay-at-home order was executed, many of our community seniors no longer had a source of meals to rely on. Many of our seniors were and still are fearful of leaving their homes. CASTLE saw a need, and this team very quickly responded to that need. Today, our emergency senior meals team serves over 300 seniors a day, Monday through Friday, and they prepare 3 healthy and culturally appropriate food where we deliver it to the senior building, to their homes. So that is, to put that into perspective, that's over 4,500 meals a day that these 7 individuals prepare a week. So far, we have served over 26,000 meals, and we are, thank you to the generosity of donors, have been able to increase and continue this program through July 30th. So this team will now prepare an additional 39,000 meals up until July 30th for a total of 65,000 meals. To put that into perspective, many of you have been in our Harmony Hall. Our Harmony Hall every single day has been turned into a food distribution and preparation center. And it's really thanks to these individuals that see on the screen. So from left to right, on the left side is our head chef and culinary training instructor, Chef Philip Thigpen, or he goes by Chef Phil. So he is kind of the mastermind behind making this all happen. He specifically was nominated because there was never a hesitation from him when the need arose. He said, I have the ability to prepare meals. I can put together a team. The community has a need, and let's go. The individuals to his right is Mr. Kwan, Mr. Feng, Ms. Galicia, Mr. Ma, Mr. Ding, and Mr. Garcia. These are all culinary training students who graduated the program, but were unable to find employment because many of the restaurants started closing at this time. So we brought them on board as CASTLE employees, and now they are working very hard every single day to be able to serve the seniors the meals that they so desperately need. So thank you so much again for CBCAC for putting this together, and I'm honored to be able to highlight our incredibly hardworking staff.
Thank you, Jared. Next, we have a nomination for Sulan Moy, the president of the board of directors at the Chinese American Museum of Chicago. Throughout her career as a Chicago public school teacher, Sulan, who is now retired, advocated and supported diversity education. And in her Cantonese bilingual program, she was determined to help the students master the English language and American culture, as well as learn about Chinese culture, history, and heritage. Sulan is also very active in the Chinese community and the museum community. Sulan spent most of her time before and after her retirement working tirelessly to help preserve and promote the Chinese American culture and history in Chicago. Now, Hong Liu will talk about her nomination of the Chinese Community Anti-COVID Fund Drive Committee. Hong?
Hi, everyone again. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Great. Thank you again for the opportunity to honor the Chinese Community Anti-COVID-19 Fund Drive Committee, 华人抗疫基金委员会, which is composed of 14 organizations and companies. These are the Midwest Asian Health Association, 美亚健康协会, American Fujian Chamber of Commerce, 美国福建商会, Chicago North Shore Chinese Center, 芝加哥之北中文中心满校长, Global Friendship Exchange Foundation, 全球友谊交流基金会, Eddie Ni, Asian American Leadership Council, 亚裔联盟委员会 Steve Hill, ADI Medical, 美国雅达公司刘炯林 ，Greater Chicago Chinese Women's Chamber of Commerce 大芝加哥华人妇女商会名誉会长 Linda B. and 会长 Rosie 倪 ，Shilin Association Linda Yang， 北京 Normal University Alumni Association Chicago 大芝加哥地区北京师范大学校友会会长孙贤和教授。Chicago 广州 Association 广州协会 Kitty Low Happy for Fitness 快乐有我健身队董平老师 Tao Global I'm sorry Group 桃园集团 Dr. Hannah Zhang Chicago 168 Fitness Team 芝加哥168健身队 Asian American Acupuncture Association一州亚裔中医针灸协会李金会长和莎莎医生。In the past 2 months, we have raised over 80,000 in cash and donated 150,000 PPEs to more than 50 facilities, including hospitals, clinics, police and fire departments, non-for-profit organizations, senior centers, and many others. Our project was featured by ABC 7 News, Chicago Tribune, World Journal, and many local news. We want to show the purpose is that we want to show to the mainstream society and our neighbors that we Chinese people do care about this country. We are part of this society. We should stand together. We can only be successful to win the war by standing united. There are a lot of negative talks about the Chinese, but we want to change that image. We have more than 500 Chinese donated to this fund drive. We are so proud of our success. We are happy that we can make some difference and make impact on the safety of our frontline healthcare workers and the public officers. We have received many thank you letters and messages from hospitals, police and fire departments, postage office, and many other non-for-profit organizations that they received our donation. So on behalf of the committee, I want to thank all who made donations to this fund drive. Thank you so much. I know that there are a few members who joined the meeting. I'm sorry I cannot see you, but thank you all for joining the efforts, and we are making a difference. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Nalani McClendon, an independent organizational development consultant, nominating Juju Lian.
Possible to honor change makers and to celebrate Chicago's Chinatown. Tonight, I'm proud to honor Ms. Juju Lian, a fierce advocate and committed champion for so many of us. She served as the first executive director of the Chinese Mutual Aid Association, navigating the nuances and complexities of an uptown neighborhood while serving immigrant and refugee residents and communities. She also served as the first executive director of what became Asian Americans Advancing Justice, then the fledgling Asian American Institute. Juju also provided critical leadership to the upstart election campaign of Carol Moseley Braun, who became the Illinois U.S. Senator. Juju and others organized women from Illinois communities in a spirit of equity and inclusion. They did the hard work of persuading folks to vote and convincing women to become active in this landmark experience. At a time when many folks would consider the term intersectional as a description of a traffic stop, Juju was showing us, exemplifying how to build community through coalitions, Pan-Asian, women, interethnic. She gave new meaning to the idea of multiculti. Through the years and way before Food Network, Juju fed so many of her colleagues, friends, and neighbors with her mad cooking skills. She could host meetings of 10 to 20 folks, and there would be full meals on the table in 30. Legendary. And I want to leave you all with a quote in Juju's own words that I found. I believe it is only right for me to share resources with my community. I was raised by a single mother who was generous with those in need, even when she had to struggle financially. Growing up, I received kindness and generosity from relatives and neighbors in so many ways. Now I am grateful to be in the position to lend a helping hand to others in need. To all of you tonight, I present Jujulian.
Thank you. Now we have a nomination for Helen Tomatoes Moy. The Chinatown community remembers Helen Moy, also known as Tomatoes, very fondly. She had been active in many organizations and with many community activities for many decades, till her very last day 3 months ago, a legend in Chinatown who has always been there for the community. Tomatoes had an enigmatic and lively personality. She wanted people to feel welcome and to be seen. Her legendary legacy is not the image of a mover and shaker, but that of the ultimate girl next door, with an irresistibly outgoing and friendly personality beloved by and could mingle and relate equally well to all people of all ages, young, old, and in between, both in and outside of the Chinatown neighborhood. In her own unique way, she brought people and organizations of the Chinatown community ever closer together. Next, we have Paul Liu, CEO of Chinese American Service League, nominating Trong Enterprise.
Thanks, Mabel. I just want to say thank you to CBCAC for hosting this wonderful event, and also to say thank you to Representative Ma and Alderman Lopez for their continued leadership as we move forward as a community through this pandemic. So we are very grateful for their leadership and their support for our community. Tonight, I am humbled and honored to nominate Trong Enterprise and the Trong families for what they have committed and to support of the community. Trong Enterprise is just not any company or an Asian company, but in 2001, the family and the community and the business, community business, made a commitment to support the community with anything that would happen. So in support of COVID-19, their response was to provide thousands of cases of refreshing tropical coconut water to a first responder so that they don't comprehend or compromise their PPE supplies. They provide cases of fresh produce and vegetables and fruit to Castle for a senior meal program. Then also in partnership with other Chinese organizations in Chinatown, provide food baskets and bags for our needy families. And then outside of Chinatown, they work in partnership with the Greater Food Depository of Chicago to provide grocery items, again, fresh fruit and vegetables to the needy during these difficult times. And then finally, they work with first responders to provide meals to the hospital workers and the police district as they combat COVID-19. So this company, a family company in Chinatown, started humbly to serve the community, continues to serve the community, and therefore I'm extremely humbled to nominate Trong Enterprise. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Last but not least, Walt Steinfuss, I hope I pronounced it correctly, the Adult Education and Training Manager at the Pui-Tak Center, will be nominating Pui-Tak Center's adult education teachers.
Thank you. And your pronunciation was pretty close.
I tried.
We'll work on your German later. I am very pleased to nominate the teachers and staff of Pui-Tak Center's adult education program for the hard work and commitment they have shown to the Chinese community, the Chinatown community, for over 25 years. For over 25 years, we've had hundreds of teachers serve the community by teaching English, by teaching citizenship classes, and by helping the new immigrants in particular become acclimated to life here in Chicago and in America. Most recently, with the COVID-19 crisis looming in January and mid-February, our staff could see the need for us to offer our classes online. And so a lot of preparation was being done really long before the rest of the state was seeing the need for this. So that when we were told by the state our classes need to be online, we were ready. Our teachers were trained, our students understood how to use Zoom, and they were able to not only transition from face-to-face classes to online classes, but they were able to increase our attendance. Now students who were afraid to come out of their homes can still access their English and citizenship education through the internet. Our enrollment has increased dramatically from what it had been before. And I give a lot of the credit to the teachers and staff who worked tirelessly to prepare their lessons, to become involved in the lives of their students, to help them in other ways that they can, but certainly as teachers, as educators, teaching the English language and people through the citizenship process. So I'm very pleased to nominate my colleagues, the Poi Tuk Center Adult Education teachers. Thank you.
Thank you, Walt. And that is it for our nominations. But before we go, let's try and see if we can play that video again. All right, that was lovely. I'm so glad we could play that. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this event. We want to thank those who are co-hosting, those who nominated, and our nominees for coming together for a beautiful event. The best way to support our community is to make sure our 2020 census is filled out. If everyone fills out the census, we can get more resources and funding to our Chinatown community. So let's make sure we get the resources we need. You can fill out the census online, by mail, or over the phone. Please call CBCAC if you need assistance in Cantonese or Mandarin. Let's continue and make sure every day we're celebrating the individuals, organizations, and groups who work tirelessly every day to make sure our Chinese American community stays strong. But before I end tonight, I believe Eva and Derek have some things that they want to say. Eva, Derek?
Hi all, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming to the event. And we wanted to celebrate our fearless CBCAC leader, Grace, as well. And we just wanted to say thank you. And she did not plan this, we planned this. Just wanted to say thank you, and I hope everyone has a safe night.
Well, thank you, Eva, and thank you again for everybody for joining us. And please stay safe and have a great night.